Sagicor Bank, supporting businesses with guidance and services to create the recipe for success. The time by Sagicor Bank is 7.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Education Ministry celebrates PEP results after hurricane-affected students exceed national performance targets in 3 of 4 key areas. Prime Minister breaks silence on embattled Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley. And St. Andrew North Police Division records 0 murders during the first quarter of 2026. In this week's edition of Small Biz, Big Dreams, one entrepreneur is working to turn big ideas into lasting impact. And later in sports, Messi magic again. This is CVM News at 7 for this Monday, June 22, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet, and thanks for joining us. Up first this evening, the Education Ministry is celebrating what it describes as encouraging gains in learning outcomes after students exceeded national performance targets in 3 of 4 key areas of this year's primary exit profile PEP examinations. The results also provide the first grade 6 literacy and numeracy baseline for future tracking. Kevin Black tells us more.
Jamaica's grade 6 students have exceeded national performance targets in 3 of 4 assessed areas of the 2026 primary exit profile examinations, signaling continued improvements in learning outcomes across the education system. The Ministry of Education reports that literacy recorded 79% mastery, numeracy 75% mastery, and language arts 72% proficiency. Meanwhile, mathematics recorded 69% proficiency, falling just 1% point short of the national target. Education Minister Dr. Dina Morris-Dixon says the results reflect the impact of targeted interventions despite the challenges posed by the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
7 of the 14 parishes were significantly affected. 440 schools in 3 key regions were affected. That's 12,860 students affected severely by Hurricane Melissa. That's 1/3 of those who took the exam. Our PEP exam is not an easy exam. And it is intentionally not easy because we are trying to prepare students for a world that is very different. And so we are proud of it being a hard exam.
This year also marked the first time literacy and numeracy were assessed at the grade 6 level, providing the Education Ministry with a national baseline to track student development.
We usually test literacy and numeracy at grade 4. This is the first year we're doing it at grade 6. And remember, literacy is different, not just reading and writing. I think what we found is that all of them can basically read and write. They are improving, and we're going to keep pushing those numbers further forward because we want to see them do even better than what we have here.
The ministry also explained the process by which students were placed in high schools.
90% were placed in a school of their choice. So you are placed at a school that is that's close to where you live. But only 9.5% of students were placed by proximity. You know, there's disparity between the performance of our high schools. The real goal has to be in our ministry to raise the level of all of our high schools so that this doesn't happen. That wherever you go, you feel that you can achieve.
Jamaica's grade 6 students have exceeded national performance targets in 3 of 4 assessed areas of the 2026 primary exit profile examinations, signaling continued improvements in learning outcomes across the education system. The Ministry of
In the meantime, President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Mark Malabver, is urging parents and students not to equate secondary school placement with future success. He says the focus should be on student performance and learning outcomes rather than which high school a child is assigned to attend.
What we should be looking at in terms of the overall picture are the scores, and to see the extent to which movement has taken place, looking at literacy and numeracy levels to determine whether or not our students are meeting the standards. We need to move away from this view that a child, if he's placed in a particular school as opposed to another school, he is deemed as a success or a failure. It is absolute nonsense.
And counseling psychologist Dr. Patrice Charles King is urging parents to be mindful of how they react to their children's PEP results. She says students who may not have received their preferred school placement need encouragement and emotional support, not comparisons or criticism.
Do not tell them that you're embarrassed because the other mothers or the other fathers in the class are going to be talking about their children. Do not tell them that you never worked, that the child never worked hard enough. And please do not say to your child, what am I going to tell people? All of those statements are going to last so much longer than the results. And a disappointed child does not need criticism. If your child is disappointed because they did not get into the school, they did not get the grade that they wanted, it's not criticism that they need connection.
We turn now to the controversial TCN arrangement. CVM's Curlin Brown spoke to the president of the Family Unification and Resettlement Initiative, Fury, Alvin McLean Jr., who shared his concerns about the third country nationals and refugees. More details in this report.
No population will actively celebrate their country becoming a transit hub for another nation's deportees. And even in this case, where the expected influx of visitors are deemed to be third country nations, the many voices, political and national, have been mounting. Further, for the president of the Family Unification and Resettlement Initiative, Fury, more than the purported financial support linked to a very sleek way of the U.S. managing its migration flows through readmission cooperation, it's the prompt extension to others and not to Jamaicans.
Fury believes in the sovereign right of the Jamaican government to enter into agreements with other countries on immigration matters. Our focus is the Jamaica government getting enough resources from the United States in order to manage this new immigrant population that will be coming into the country.
Meanwhile, transparency is not unique to Jamaica, as it's a global governance challenge when it comes to migration diplomacy. So for Jamaica to sign on the dotted lines despite the wave across Panama, Belize, Antigua, St. Kitts and Barbados, is the positive about the migration, or is it about the millions in security funding, diplomatic goodwill and geopolitical leverage that comes attached to the pen?
Immigration for Jamaicans, there's no proper infrastructure in place for that. So how is it that they're going to find an infrastructure for immigrants that are coming into the country, at least 25 a month? So our position is that the government should implement a program and set up an infrastructure where NGOs and other organizations can assist the government with assisting the individuals that come into the country. Not that we're against the agreement, because, like I said, the government has a sovereign right to enter into agreements dealing with immigration matters. Our focus is on Jamaicans need resources to reintegrate into the community. Another population of immigrants will be coming here. They will need resources to integrate into the community. Definitely accept donations, and we definitely need money to run our.
The People's National Party's Women's Movement, PNP Women, is demanding answers from the government over its decision to allow Jamaica to be included in the more than 20 nations accepting deported third country nationals from the U.S. In 2025, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the Trump administration was seeking third-party agreements to remove highly violent criminals and sex offenders from the U.S. More details in this report from Crystal Williams.
President of PNP Women, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, says her movement's concerns with the controversial deportation program is heightened by the pronouncements of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in 2025.
He said the U.S. was looking for countries willing to take in people he described as, and I quote, perverts, pedophiles, and child rapists, some of the most despicable human beings.
Secretary Rubio says Jamaica is one of 20 countries participating in efforts to secure his country's border.
Part of securing our border is dealing with the people that are in this country unlawfully, many of whom do not want to go back to the country that they originally came from for a variety of reasons. And one of the key things we have achieved is now 20 countries have signed third country national agreements, meaning these are safe countries where individuals who refuse to go back to their country of origin can be sent to that country instead. What often happens when you go to the person who's here unlawfully and say, we're going to send you to this third country, is all of a sudden they decide they'd rather go back to their home country instead. So it gives the ability to enforce all laws, and we work very closely with the Department of Homeland Security on that front.
Additionally, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says governments should seek to safeguard their borders from outsiders.
All over the West, and it's kind of crazy, is this idea that the way to generate prosperity is to bring in millions and millions of unvetted people and drop them into your neighborhoods, and we simply reject that idea. It's okay to want to defend your culture. It's okay to want to live in a safe neighborhood. It's okay to want your job to go to yourself and your neighbors and not to a stranger who you don't even know.
This is why the opposition says the government owes the people of Jamaica a clear explanation as to why it would agree to be a destination for these deportees.
Vague statements and partial answers are not good enough. The safety of Jamaican women and children must come first, and the government must prove in words and action that the safety of Jamaican women and children is paramount.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
It's time now for a break, but stay with us. More when we come back.
Already have a T-tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. You can now conveniently add funds to your T-tag on WhatsApp. Just save our T-tag WhatsApp number 876-355-3336 and send us a message when you want to top up. Top up your T-tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Back, we are continuing the news. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has broken his silence on the recent Integrity Commission report into the financial affairs of Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley. The Prime Minister says Dr. Wheatley retains his confidence as a member of the Cabinet. More details from Carla Ramdeen.
During an interview on Cliff Hughes Online on Monday, Dr. Holness described the charges to be laid as serious, but noted that it was his understanding that Dr. Wheatley is yet to be charged. The Prime Minister also said he had only briefly read the document, but intends to be briefed today by attorneys involved in the matter on the contents of the report.
The charges that are suggested or recommended are serious charges. Now, the challenge, of course, is that no charge has yet been preferred on him. So until that point, we will observe the situation. Today, I'm going to leave here, run back to Cabinet. I expect to see Minister Wheatley there, and we will have a fulsome discussion with him directly on the report and what to expect in the future.
In the meantime, Professor Emeritus of Government Trevor Monroe reacted to the matter, stating that he accepts the Prime Minister's assurance that he was unaware of the Integrity Commission's investigations into the serious matter of illicit enrichment. Professor Monroe, however, believes that Dr. Andrew Wheatley should have been aware of the matter. Professor Monroe also argued that Dr. Wheatley should have tendered his resignation for withholding that information from the Prime Minister.
There is a long precedent, a long record in Jamaica's governance of ministers resigning or being relieved of their position when allegations of a serious nature are made. They step aside until the matter is cleared up, return perhaps when the matter is sufficiently resolved, or remain out of the cabinet otherwise.
Meanwhile, Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Dr. Gavin Myers, said Jamaicans deserve a cabinet in which they can have full confidence in all ministers serving in government. Dr. Myers said the responsibility now rests with the Prime Minister to ask Dr. Wheatley to tender his resignation.
The Prime Minister said that he was never told of this, and I would think that the Prime Minister not being told of something this serious is a breach of confidence, and it would be very difficult for the Prime Minister and the other members of the Cabinet who are upstanding citizens to want to know that someone omitted something as important as this from the briefings and the questions that would have been asked of them before.
CVM TV contacted the Integrity Commission for a response to the Prime Minister's claim that Dr. Wheatley has not been charged. In response via email, the Commission said, quote, "The Integrity Commission has no comment on this matter at this time." The Commission is also yet to respond to a follow-up query regarding which individual or entity is responsible for actually charging Dr. Wheatley. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
The police are celebrating what they're describing as a major crime-fighting achievement. The St. Andrew North Police Division, which is in Area 5, recorded 0 murders during the first quarter of 2026, while the wider area recorded a 60% reduction in major crimes. Javoni Hamilton tells us more.
For many police divisions, going an entire quarter without a murder is an ambitious goal. But for the St. Andrew North Division, it became reality. The division, which falls under Area 5, recorded 0 murders in the first quarter of 2026, contributing to an overall 60% reduction in major crimes across the area. Speaking on the JCF's Force for Good podcast, Area 5 Commander Assistant Commissioner of Police Howard Chambers described the achievement as a source of motivation for both the police and residents, while insisting there's room for even greater success.
We can achieve much more with the divisions of Area 5. We want the divisions of Area 5 to be an investor's choice, for investment. So when we, achieve these results, it's really a motivation for both citizens and police personnel to continue to push.
ACP Chambers also revealed that Area 5 has now gone 138 days without recording a murder. He attributed the milestone to strong partnerships with stakeholders and the corporation of citizens.
And all that is, due because of that tight-knit collaboration with stakeholders and citizens alike. It's a unique division, and if the citizens are not on board, there is problem, because as SP Sweeney said, it's not just the urban, it goes way up in the hills of, Garden Town, Mavis Bank. Those areas are part of St. Andrew North. And so if the citizens are not on board, then, we know it's really a failure.
Meanwhile, commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Division, Superintendent Randy Sweeney, says the achievement did not happen by chance. He notes that careful analysis of crime patterns and trends, coupled with strong police presence in key communities, has helped residents feel safer and more secure.
The presence of the police has helped. And what I must also say is that our approach to crime reduction and maintaining public order is guided by analysis. So we look at patterns, we look at trends and things like that. And this guides our deployment. So with the constant presence of the police, the visiting of these businesses, of course, it gives them some confidence and let them feel better shoppers, citizens going about their lawful business even much more comfortable.
Superintendent Sweeney also praised the support of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, saying its operations have played an important role in curbing crime across the division.
But the reality of it is that we cannot put all our officers one place. So there are some priority areas. I must also say, thanks to the PSTEB, they have helped the division a lot when it comes to the deployment along the roadway. I must also here to say that even during some of our discussion or engagement with the citizens and they complain about this, I encourage them to, because a lot of persons know what we can do is leverage technology.
Yes.
They have these cameras on their vehicles. They can send them to us. Send them to us, and I've seen before these footages sent to us, and we prosecute persons, and these drivers, they admitted to it.
Javoni Hamilton for CVM News.
The state-owned Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is offering a $1 million reward for any information leading to the identification of a man believed to be responsible for a bus fire at the Spanish Town bus terminal in St. Catherine. In a media briefing today, the JUTC management released CCTV footage of the suspect they believe deliberately set the blaze. Akeem Oret has more.
This was the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC bus when it was set ablaze in the Spanish Town lay-by on May 30, 2026. Managing Director of the state-owned transport company, Owen Ellington, revealed that investigators now believe the suspect may be linked to another bus fire.
There was, for context, a previous incident some 2 years ago where a brand new Golden Dragon CNG-powered bus was set afire in the Halfway Tree Transportation Center. Luckily, on that occasion, swift action by the driver led to the fire being discovered and extinguished before it could result in total destruction of the bus.
At Monday's press conference, Mr. Ellington said the JUTC has been working closely with the police since the incident. The compressed natural gas-powered or CNG bus was gutted by fire shortly after arriving at the terminal. Since the release of the CCTV footage of the suspect they believe set the blaze, the transport company is appealing to the public for assistance as efforts intensify to identify and locate him.
In support of public cooperation in identifying the individual and calling Crime Stop or the police, JUTC is offering a reward of $1 million. $1 million to any individual who can provide information that can assist the police in identifying, finding, and removing this individual from the streets before he gets a third opportunity to do damage to our buses and possibly worse.
The vehicle damage is valued at approximately $200,000. The transport company is urging anyone with information to contact the police as investigators continue their probe into the incident. Akeem Oret for CVM News.
The Norman Manley Law School has launched an ambitious alumni giving drive with a $55 million campaign that already secured more than $3 million Jamaican dollars in commitments on launch night. The campaign seeks to mobilize alumni support for scholarships, student success, mentorship, professional development, and institutional growth. Nika Lois reports.
The Norman Manley Law School, NMLS, has unveiled a bold alumni giving campaign aimed at strengthening scholarships, mentorship, and student success. The law school is asking its graduates to invest time, expertise, and funds in the next generation of Caribbean lawyers. It has launched a $55 million Jamaican dollar alumni giving campaign and has so far secured more than $3 million in commitments on launch night.
At the reunion, we discussed how we could give back to the NMLS in a tangible way. And there the seed was planted for us to establish a scholarship fund. We recognize the cost of law school is prohibitive for so many students. So we set up the fund specifically for those students from lower income families facing financial hardship to help reduce the financial burden of their legal education.
School leaders say the 8-week pilot led by the class of 1997 and cohort ambassador Christopher Townsend will channel funds and expertise into scholarships, professional development, and mentorship.
So it's really a system where there are synergistic arrangements and we're all relying on each other, and the alumni has a critical role not just in furthering themselves as they leave, but in ensuring that the institution continues to perform well and do even better than it has done in the past.
Organizers hope early momentum will translate into sustained support for the next generation of Caribbean lawyers. Early commitments mean more students can pursue internships, clinics, and bar preparation without financial strain. Organizers stress that giving is also about networks and mentorship that change careers and communities. And they hope launch night momentum becomes sustained support for student success.
It reminded me that I haven't been walking this journey alone, and I will not, and I continue to walk this journey alone. I definitely want to say that the alumni and their help in investing or even thinking in investing in young people is the power of pouring into someone else. Right. Sometimes someone would just like to hear, hey, I see you. Hey, I believe in what you are striving for and who you are becoming. And that is what that scholarship did for me and will do for others in the future. And as I venture into this profession, I would not just say I'm becoming an attorney, but I'm also going to stay committed to being someone who will also invest in that childhood dream.
Depending on which hall of residence you decide to stay on, it could be 70 to 90,000 Jamaican dollars per month. So that's what you're looking at. And when you add food to that, I suspect that you're looking in the region of probably $20,000-$30,000 per month for food. And
so that's another $1.something million,
yeah.
Right?
So the economic cost that we look at is roughly about 2.6 million Jamaican dollars. And we believe that that's the total cost for a student who is not repeating the year.
Make the connections and make this happen. Now, I am going to kick it off. Yes? Now, I want my person from TWP, Dr. Malcolm. I come bearing gifts, you see. The law firm of TWP attorneys is happy to give you $2.5 million in support of this initiative.
It's time now for a break, but stay with us. We'll have more on the other side.
Today, Sagicor Group is actually here at the Savannah de Vista, participating in this World Environmental Day tree planting exercise. We want to play our part in ensuring that we are reducing local climate and economic risk. The lasting legacy that Sagicor would want to be remembered for through this activity is not only having provided the capital, the mortgage for this development, but having created the green spaces for families to thrive.
I feel really privileged to receive trees as a gift from Sagicor for my home. Today definitely inspired me to do more for the environment.
We're so thankful to be blessed by Sagicor choosing Savannah at the Vistas. They have been able to invest in the development of the community and coming back to invest in the environment.
The benefits of the tree planting will help with the improvement of the air quality, the heat buildup, and provide a better environment for the homeowners to enjoy.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that.
They won't agree on anything. That's
where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. From a vision to create positive change to a formal enterprise serving communities, one entrepreneur is working to turn big ideas into lasting impact. In this week's edition of Small Biz, Big Dreams, Kevin Black introduces us to Dr. Donnell Martin, the founder of Yardway Development and Trading Company Limited.
This time on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we go all the way to show you some products from Yardway. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. Since 2023, Dr. Donnell Martin has been building Yardway Development and Trading Company Limited, a business that formally became an enterprise in 2025. He says that the company was
And we do apologize for the technical challenges there, but let's go now to a quick break. We'll be right back.
It's game on. And you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game. And you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
Already have a T-tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. You can now conveniently add funds to your T-tag on WhatsApp. Just save our T-tag WhatsApp number 876-355-3336 and send us a message when you want to top up. Top up your T-tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
The greatest show on earth is here, and Fan Central goes into extra time for 39 days right throughout FIFA's Showpiece tournament, with a Pepsi in hand, of course. Catch the playbook with a tactical breakdown from our expert coaches. Come sit in our fan corner, where you have your say on the day's action. Fame or shame, who were the best or worst players of the day, and have a laugh as we share some of the best reactions on social media. After the final whistle, it's extra time. Fan Central Extra Time. 8 p.m. daily with 10 p.m. shows on select days where there are 8 p.m. match kickoffs.
Fan Central Extra Time is brought to you by the Pepsi Football Nation, where fans make the rules. Football, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Now let's go back to Kevin, who was introducing us to Dr. Donnell Martin, the face behind Yardway Development and Trading Company Limited.
This time on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we go all the way to show you some products from Yardway. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. Since 2023, Dr. Donnell Martin has been building Yardway Development and Trading Company Limited, a business that formally became an enterprise in 2025. He says that the company was created to provide opportunities, support development, and help create positive change in communities.
It started when I was in college, doing my doctorate. I got a burning desire for business, and that burning desire for business led me to start a social media enterprise called Yardbuzz. We saw where in in the automotive space, there are a lot of air fresheners, car air fresheners that are being traded, but the quality of them from a commercialization standpoint it could have been improved. And we said, you know what, let's do that. Let's increase the quality of the air fresheners that are on the market and let us move it out of just the car space and put it into a commercially viable space where it can be sold in gas stations, retail stores, supermarkets, haberdasheries.
Dr. Martin says the journey has come with its challenges, but he remains focused on growing the business and expanding its reach. He believes consistency and a clear purpose have been key to his success so far.
I initially had taken a loan, an unsecured loan from my banking institution, and ironically, the first monies that I would have gotten from that loan, it was in the personal care line, so a lot of it was lost, but I don't look at it as a loss, I look at it as a lesson, because with the little that we had left after that loan, we were able to grow this business to the point where it's sustainable. The Yardie line, first we have baby powder, which is our best seller. We also have Blue Lagoon, which people say reminds them of Portland. We have Elegant Lady, which I always recommend for, the lovely ladies of Jamaica, yard and abroad. We have Tropical, which persons here reminds them of a vacation. You have another brand called Nuff that focuses on chemical products. We have a line of degreasers. We have coolants, windshield washes, and oil-based coolants, and regular coolants, and windshield washes as well.
Looking ahead, he hopes to continue building the company's impact while encouraging others to pursue their entrepreneurial dreams.
The first step is to be sure of yourself, have a concrete idea, and to build out that concrete idea, it takes a lot of research, a lot of dedication, a lot of failures, but failures by the societal standpoint. But if you look at it from an evolutionary standpoint, failure only happens when you stop trying. The contact number for our factory is 338-1357. You can access us through our distribution partners, namely Arthur Trading Company Limited, which is at 19 Keys Avenue. You can also check Miracle Corporation, which is at 31 Collins Greens Avenue. We have another distribution partner, GE Transportation Distribution Services. You can get in contact with us through Instagram. Instagram is YardiB with 3 E's, and we'll be happy to direct you to whichever distribution partner seems to serve your needs best.
Next week, we'll just give another business a TV buzz.
Until then, for Small Biz, Big Dreams, I'm Kevin Black.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's now find out what's happening around the world.
We begin with news in the region. Caribbean leaders will focus on food security at the upcoming CARICOM summit in St. Lucia. This, as St. Lucia's Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, wants quick, united action to make farming stronger and cut down on food imports. More from Grenada.